Right, let's see here. Can you do a few audio checks? My audio's working.
Yeah, hello. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Yep.
Yep.
It's coming through.
I can hear myself. Yep. Okay.
Well, thank Christ for that. I remember I went through all of this back on Contest of Speed. It was not fun trying to work this out.
Yep.
I'll quickly go back in and make sure audio's just okay. Yeah, should be fine. Alright. Okie dokie, folks. We don't have a very big field for tonight. This is about it for us. Once the ready up signal is given, everybody readies up and we go into the race session. We'll start the intro as per normal. But yeah, we got a few new names, namely FVR Tom, formerly known as Fiery Hour, has joined us for tonight, which is pretty neat. Nice to see him back. I haven't seen him in a while. Actually, I haven't seen him since the Invitational, the second Invitational that we were in a while ago. So, no, it's nice to see him here. Alrighty, let's get this show on the road. Whoa. Hello everyone and welcome to round 14 of the Pacific Elite Series here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at Miami International Autodrome for the Miami Grand Prix. One of the newest additions to the Formula One world, Miami International Autodrome was constructed in 2021 and became the 11th circuit in the United States to hold a Formula One Grand Prix. The circuit measures up at 5.41 kilometers and consists of 19 corners and 3 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of Turn 1, Turn 11 and Turn 17. It's a narrow circuit with concrete walls lingering not too far away from the racing surface, so a single mistake at any part of the racetrack could prove costly. The main technical areas the drivers will have to worry about are the tricky traction zone between turns 2 and 3, the high-speed S's of turns 4, 5 and 6, and the Mickey Mouse complex formed by turns 12 through 16. It's a slow, tight, cumbersome section of circuit where drivers can fall foul to the terrible in-game physics of F1 22. Now, before we focus on qualifying here, there is a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race in Baku. Any of those who tuned in last week know how that race ended and shouldn't be surprised that there are going to be a few incident reports. And coincidentally enough, every single incident report I'm going to mention happened on the final lap of that Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The first of which we saw on stream, happened between Smithy and Spicy at Turn 1 on the final lap, where Spicy was forced wide due to Smithy's car on the inside, forcing him out wide. And the result from that was a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point to Smithy for forcing a car off the racetrack. There was another incident report between Spicy and ACW that literally happened a corner after the incident I just mentioned. And ACW, in a similar fashion, forced Spicy wide, but said there was no extra runoff area for Spicy to go into, and he crashed into the wall. And ACW was also given a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point. And then the doozy, down the main straightaway, heading up towards the finish, Big Al taking out Ferrari Pro, one of the championship contenders, and to no surprise, Al was given a whopping penalty, 15-second time penalty, and 3 penalty points were awarded to him. So Big Al, he would lose the race win and would move to P9 in the final results. Smithy, even with the time penalty applied, would stay in second, and ACW would move from P4 to P5 in the final results. In the Drivers' Championship, Smithy leading the way. He's on 351 points, with Ferrari Pro in second on 286. There are 65 points separating the top two, and 4 points behind Ferrari Pro is ACW. So, this is a set of circumstances that we have going into this race. If Ferrari Pro doesn't outscore Smitty by 25 points or more, or ACW doesn't outscore Smitty by 28 points or more, Smitty will be our Season 8 Pacific Elite Series Drivers Champion. Essentially, one of the two Ferraris has to win this race, and Mr. Smitty scores nothing in this Grand Prix. As you can see, we only have 14 drivers, so everyone who finishes score points. Now, in the Constructors' Championship, it's a two-way dogfight between Ferrari and Aston Martin. Ferrari lead the way on 568 points, followed by Aston Martin on 502. It's a considerable margin of 66 points. Now, if Ferrari outscore Aston Martin by 8 points, that's it, just 8 points in this race, Ferrari will become Season 8 Pacific Elite Series Teams Champions. I would run through the rest of the order, but I feel like I'd just be wasting time. We'll now focus on this qualifying session. I'll introduce my co-commentator for tonight, who was once again KD1997. KD, this will be one of 3 racetracks that we'll go to in your home country in next year, or rather this year's game. What are your general thoughts about the Miami International Autodrome?
Well, Miami, as you point out, it's a bit of a long track. There are some bit of technical bits, main of which is that chicane, which I absolutely despise out of any racetrack on any race in general, is because of how stupidly bad it is. But yeah, no, I kind of like it in some sense, though. It's a nice fast track as well, but overtaking is quite tricky, of course, as you mentioned. So yeah, that's the only thing that drivers will have to pan out, of course, like you mentioned. And then, of course, the significance, as we all know, is that this place goes around the infamous Hard Rock Stadium, which is home to the Miami Dolphins in the NFL.
Thank you, Mr. David Croft, for pointing that out.
I had to get it out there at some point.
It's amazing how often Crofty mentions that. I mean, I get that sort of the signature part of the racetrack, and you actually shared an interesting photo. They shoved the entire paddock inside the stadium.
Yes, they literally did. I don't know how they did it, but they did. It is absolutely incredible to me.
They fully utilize the entire complex here at Miami International Autodrome. It's cool in that sense. I just kind of wish it was a slightly better racetrack overall, because it is a tough racetrack to try and pass. The main overtaking spot is here at turn 17, a section that Spicy is going through right now. Other than that, you can try and pass into turn 1. And turn 11, I've seen some good moves happen. Funnily enough, the outside line is probably the preferred line at turn 11, because that gives you the inside line at turn 12.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what's funny that 11 and 12 reminds me of a little bit, and I think I've heard this from other drivers too, is that it reminds me a bit of Vietnam's turns 1 and 2 roundabout area. If you remember what that was, it was just like you get this tight left bend that goes into a roundabout. That kind of what it reminds me of a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely. I can see the what you're getting at with the reference back to Vietnam. Makes a lot of sense. But this section is just significantly more open compared to Vietnam. And as a result, that sort of opens up the outside line quite a lot. So you can really fire it into the corner, hold it on the outside, then try and fight your rival down the inside at turn 12. It's quite an interesting complex. And you have to get it sorted, because then you arrive at the Mickey Mouse chicane at turns 14 and 15. And if you go side by side through that, well, you might not come out the other side of the chicane in one piece. So, got to be very careful. As Pump begins a flying lap with my ride on board, give you a tour of this 5.4 kilometre racetrack. Into turn 1 and up towards the tricky traction zone of turn 2 and turn 3. You have to be so very careful through these two corners. The back end can step out on you in a moment's notice. Through the S's now of turn 4, into turn 5, and into the triple left-hander of turn 6, turn 7, and turn 8. I don't really see how this is a triple left-hander, but it is on the official track map, so I'm not going to argue with it. Up towards the right-hand kink of turn 9, you'll open DRS and head around the long left-hand kink of turn 10, and make his way up towards turn 11, a corner that we've already mentioned earlier in the stream. Third gear, second gear, short shift up to 4 as he makes his way around turn 12, up towards turn 13, and then into the chicane of 14 and 15. A bit of a lock up there. He just missed the apex at turn 14. You can cut quite a lot through 16 as well, which he didn't quite do. He'll make his way down the back straightaway, an incredibly long back straightaway at that. The DRS Open will head down towards turn 17. Probably the best overtaking spot. You can really send it down the inside here. Bring it down to third, flip the apex, short shift up to 4th, and make his way through turn 18 and the final corner of turn 19. Pump will set at 28.2. He improves by 4/10, but I do believe he stays P9.
Yeah, he didn't gain any spots with that lap.
Yeah, it's just a better benchmark. That's what he was trying to do there. Oh. Unfortunately for us, we won't have qualifying ended by red flag. Unlike the real life one.
Well, that's because we don't have Charles Leclerc to do it for us.
Fair point. Yeah, our 2 Ferrari drivers don't spin often. I say often. I might be wrong tonight. Who knows? Who knows with Miami? It is a tricky racetrack. It's not always a fun racetrack, Miami. So many little areas you have to just try and negotiate.
Yeah, and like any other street circuit as well. Well, if you say street circuit, it's just basically a track built around a parking lot around the stadium, if I'm totally honest.
And it has one public road on it, which is the back straight.
Correct, it's just basically a freeway overpass, as you see there. But, yeah, no, it's just basically, otherwise, it's just a normal parking lot. Not like Caesar's Palace parking lot, but bigger
Thank
than that, at
goodness
least.
for that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want another reincarnation of that track. It can stay away, as far as I'm concerned. Tom here on the lap, making his way out of the chicane and around the critical left-hander of turn 16, as this corner dictates how much speed you carry down this long back straightaway. He's currently up by 1/2 as he opens DRS and heads towards turn 17. We'll see a peak speed of 347 kilometers an hour, down to an apex speed. I think I saw 74 kilometers an hour indicated there at the apex of 17, so a huge slowdown area into the hairpin. And when you know, Tom jumps to the top, 26.785, improves by just under 0.3 of a second.
Hey, he found all that time as well in that final sector as well.
Red Bull finding a lot of time on the straights? Who knew?
No, it couldn't be.
Couldn't
we had enough fun that did.
Yeah, 26.715. Smithy's jumped to the top, which is very unsurprising. This is Smithy, our championship leader, of course. So we'll see what some of the other drivers can do. We've got Ferrari Pro, who is the main challenger, I'd say, to Smithy. ACW isn't too far behind. In fact, he's directly in front of his teammate. Seems that he's going to try and complete a flying lap. It's going to be a 1:26.80, improves by 3 and a bit tenths. Ferrari Pro has jumped up to second. He's just missed out on pole. Look at that, 13 thousandths of a second. And the top 3 are separated by less than a tenth right now, KD.
Yeah, quite close as well. You know what's going to be interesting though is how much evolution we're going to see with this track next game, I reckon. Because we saw how quick the track was for this year compared to what it was last year by like what, maybe about a second or two. I reckon we might see maybe even quicker times for the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that reflects the real life nature of racetracks. When more rubber gets laid down, the faster the times become. Like typically with fresh tarmac, it doesn't offer the same level of grip as properly rubbered in tarmac. And obviously the racetrack has had, you know, a whole Grand Prix on it with a bunch of support categories flying around the racetrack. So it's had plenty of Pirelli rubber being laid down. So yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how this track behaves in F123. It'll be interesting to see how the cars behave in general in F123, because there's been a lot of talk about the cars being a lot more predictable, is the word that Codemasters have used themselves. Although, oh, gee whiz, Roscoe losing control there. That was at the exit of turn 8, and his car actually ghosted. I wonder if he put the thing in AI to try and save the slide. That'd be pretty ingenious if he did, because the AI can save just about anything.
Yeah, if you're using the right spot, I guess. I don't know, I've never done that before.
Cam's gone back in, Davis is out on track as I speak. Both Spicy and probably Roscoe will bail back into the pits, I'd imagine. Maybe Roscoe will try and set a benchmark, although with the time left, I doubt it. I reckon he'll just go back in and put on another set of tyres. Yeah, no, there's a lot of question marks, isn't there, KD, about the new game coming up. We're really just not sure what it's going to be like.
I think we've made our feelings clear about how optimistic, well, I say optimistic in quotes, of how we are feeling about the next game. I think the only thing I will look forward to is obviously with the new tracks coming into the game with LaSalle and of course
Vegas,
Las Vegas.
Get to race on the strip.
The track I plan on going in real life as well, even though it will be a lot of money, I know, but
not still. As much as the Miami Grand Prix though. That's the most expensive Grand Prix of the year. Miami.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
I wasn't when I read that.
Yeah, when I heard about that too, I was pretty shocked. I guess maybe it makes some sense because I know Miami's well, I can't say Vegas is not a party atmosphere. It is. Miami though just has that bit of, I guess, a atmosphere to it or something. I don't know.
Well, you can see from the amount of drivers who wear special helmets and teams with special liveries for the event. You know, there's an obvious spectacle here at Miami. Probably doesn't have the same level of racing atmosphere as you would find at a typical racetrack, but you do get a lot of celebrity fanfare at a track like this here in Miami because of its location. We're probably going to see the same at Las Vegas too. So.
Maybe. Well, I mean, they definitely shoved the Dolphins in our face about that in Formula 1.
Yeah. Can't wait to talk about the Raiders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you know how I feel about that team. You definitely know how I feel about that team.
Davis, meanwhile, is on a flying lap. He's been racing around as we've been chatting away. He's on a pretty tidy lap. He's up by 2 seconds. His 31.1 probably isn't anywhere near competitive to what he can do, so he's on a much, much better lap here. He's got 3 more corners to negotiate. Turn 17, then turns 18 and 19, the final 2 corners on the racetrack. And I do believe this will be the end of qualifying for Davis. He only has 2 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock. He does a 28.8, goes 11th fastest overall. Drivers on out laps, getting ready for their final runs. We got Smithy. He's going to be the first of those, I think. No, not quite. Marvelin down in P12. He's getting himself ready for a run. As he heads around the final corner, he'll send it down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Now, it's important that you use a little bit of extra tarmac on the outside of turn 1. We'll see if Smithy uses it. There you go. That is the proper racing line into turn 1. You have to fully utilise that strip of tarmac outside of turn 1. You can see there as well, Smithy, I don't think he hit any of the curbs there through the first sector. He just kept all 4 tyres on the black stuff, didn't touch the red and white stuff, I think, as he heads around the triple left-hander.
Hey, he didn't do the same either when he entered turn 6. But now he's using a bit towards the end of the first sector, and he's up by a 10th, as a matter of fact.
That's what cleanliness does, I guess, just getting the traction down onto the road, getting the power down onto the road. Just get all that drive out of the corner. Yellow's out as drivers try to sort themselves out, getting ready for their final runs. Smithy, meanwhile, will head up towards the Mickey Mouse chicane, turns 14 and 15, clobbering over the curves in 4th gear. No less, you don't see that in real life. Now, oh jeez, he gets very close to the barrier on the outside, and he's still up by just under 0.2 of a second, so he's looking at a low 5?
Yeah, somewhere mid 26.
Depends on how well he gets through this final sector. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. He gets the thing straight, and he'll make his way around the final corner, crossing the line, and there you go, a mid-5. Spot on, KD. 1 minute 26.543 is his lap time. Ferrari Pro, meanwhile, is up by 600ths to the first sector. Tom, he's down by 1.2. So his qualifying session is done. He's not happy with himself. See how the other drivers fare. ACW is down by 0.3 of a second to the first sector. So it's a lot.
And he's bailed too.
Has he? Oh dear.
He's flat. His red light was flashing.
All right. 40, meanwhile, is down by 100, so see if he can find time in this final part of the lap. Plez, meanwhile, making his way through the middle sector. He's up by 800, so as the Mercedes is slowing. That'll be spicy, I'm guessing. He's starting from the back. Yeesh, that's not good. All right, up towards the middle sector split as 40 will cross the line to set 26.883 P4 for the McLaren driver. Didn't quite catch the time there with players. We'll go back to him in a moment. Ferrari Pro will cross the line. He does not improve. He stays P2. Can Plevs do anything? Can he vault up the order? He's up by 1.5. He needs to find a lot of time in this final sector if he wants to improve position, let alone take pole. And he only found 0.2 overall. Bags Liddell, P7 behind Plevs. Cam, his qualifying session is done. Pump, his session is done as well. Roscoe up by 1.2 seconds. Looks like Roscoe's on a pretty decent lap. Crosses the line P9 with a 27.718. So there we are. It's Smithy on pole position. Ferrari Pro alongside the top two in the Drivers' Championship, lining up on the front row here at Miami. A returnee, Tom, although he's crashed into the barrier, is P3 with a 26.785. That's not too bad. Between P2, P5, 4 drivers, it's a bit under 1.5.
Yeah. I guess ACW did improve. I thought he was the low and turned off this battery because I was watching his camera angle from when he was going through turn 11. It was blinking. I guess it might have been a visual glitch.
Maybe.
But anyway, no, he did improve. He only improved by like 7,000. Really, that's it.
Well, I wonder what he'd do if he didn't lose time in the first sector then. I mean, if he did a 26.8 while he was 0.3 down in the first sector, I wonder how close he would have got to Smithy's time. So, because he's only 0.3 off here. We'll run through the order just quickly. We got Smithy on pole position. Ferrari Pro lines up alongside on the front row in second. Tom P3, Ford fourth, followed by ACW, Plevs, Bags Liddell, Cam, Roscoe and Pump rounds out the top 10. Then we have Whitey, Davis, Marvelin, and Spicy will start from the back after not setting a lap time in the session. Yeah, a bit of an interesting qualifying, some interesting tidbits here and there. But overall, it's kind of what you expect.
Exactly. Pretty much.
Now, we haven't got anything from any driver, so I'm going to assume it's dry. Which, in Florida, is a little bit surprising.
Considering how humid it is at that place.
Is there not torrential rain? The whole track should turn into a swimming pool. That way maybe they'll actually use the wet tyre instead of intermediates in real life. They only use inters.
Can at least get some water in that fake marina section that they have.
Yeah, that's right. They were going to put in real water, weren't they, at one point?
They did for the pools. They didn't do it for the boats. I don't think they did it for the boats. I know, right? That's
just a bit embarrassing, ain't it? Having fake water around. That's just, yeah.
Oh, it's even more embarrassing when you have a paddock stuffed into a football stadium.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I suppose, where else are you going to put it?
Well, I mean, what was wrong with what they did before? They had it outside of it.
I don't know.
I didn't think that was bad.
There's room inside the stadium. Use the stadium, I guess. I don't know. That's what they thought. So.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright. Getting close to formation lap start here. It is overcast here at Miami Gardens, so if we are going to see rain, it'll be coming later in the race. For now, let's have a look at who's starting on what tyre for this Miami Grand Prix. I don't need telemetry, dum-dum, I need detail. There we go. Okay, why is... Huh. Well, this is one of the most peculiar selections I've seen. Everyone's on the hard tyre, except for Roscoe Arm down in 9th on the mediums, which, you know, fair game, try something different. Pump's on the softs.
Yeah, those soft tires are not going to last too long.
Soft tyre in 10th.
Yeah, any 10th, yeah, you're right.
You're a long way down. You're planning to be ultra aggressive at the start. You have to be. If you're starting on the soft tyre, yeah, you're going to be ultra aggressive. Everyone else is on the hard tyre though. Which is actually a bit unlike a League Series. Typically, the front runners like starting on the mediums, try and break away. Namely Smithy, like starting on the mediums and try and break away. But no, everybody's on the hards. So, don't need a tyre graphic. Just need to remember that Roscoe and Pump, they're on different tyres. That's all we need to know. Leaders are now making their way down the very, very, very long back straight. Weaving about. Doing the exact opposite of a Raikkonen impression. Doing some more weaving. Making sure their front tyres are nice and warm. Lighting up the rears there, trying to get some rear temperature. Ferrari Pro's doing the same. Start here is all important. Now Smithy will be lining up on the outside. Here towards turn 1. Now even if he can get a poor start, if he holds it round the outside of Ferrari Pro, Smithy will have the inside line at turn 2. So Ferrari Pro really needs to send it into turn 1 if he wants to lead out of the opening corner. Smithy's now lined up, ready to run. Do we have a better angle? Not really.
I've got a back angle.
I've got a back angle too. I love this game.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
All 14 cars are now lined up, ready to run. We've got 10 red lights. We're underway here in Miami. It's a nice start from VFR Tom from P3. He's shadowing Smithy straight away. Oh, hang on, no. Smithy's got a terrific start. Tom not so well. 40 moves into P3 as we go through turn 2, around turn 3, and Ford moves in front into third. ACW and Plevs battling away at the exit of the long right-hand sweeper as we head up towards the S's of turns 4, 5, and 6. ACW stays in 5th, Plevs 6th. Followed by, oh hello, a battle for P2. Roscoe, Pump, side by side, round the triple left-hander as we exit turn 8. Oh, Pump force wide. Couldn't find a way through.
Yeah, otherwise it was a good, at least a good clean getaway for at least everybody so far. Not so much for Tom, as you mentioned. He's only lost one spot after that.
To the inside goes Spicy. Whitey tries to follow. Down the inside at turn 11, forcing Davis wide. Through goes Whitey. Round the outside looks Marvelant. Looks down the inside, doesn't fully commit, which is a wise thing to do. And stays in P14. Oh, a poor run though through the chicane for Marvelant. Lost a fair chunk of time. But there's Smithy, our race leader, followed by Ferrari Pro and G-Force Ford. Tom, I thought, got a good start, but that was only because of the angle I had. I thought he actually matched Smithy at the start. It certainly looked like it, but no, because I can't get a proper angle of the start, I didn't get to see that Tom actually had a pretty average one, and 40 was able to go down the inside and make the move at turn 1. Because this game is great.
Yep, absolutely.
Very wide line there from Smithy, using the full width of the circuit through the long right-hander. He makes his way through the S's of 4, 5, 6 and around turn 7 into turn 8. Hopefully the interval can start working shortly between the top two. I wouldn't mind knowing the exact gap. Right now it looks like about 3/10, 4/10 of a second between the top two. As Pump's closing in on Roscoe, heading towards turn 11. He looks. Into the braking zone we go. Sends it in. Doesn't fully commit though. He'll look around the outside. He'll have the grip. Should get in front. Does get in front. P8 is Pump's. His next target. Oh, will be bags the Dell if he doesn't make a mistake.
Yeah, loving a little bit too much of that curve there. Hey?
Oh. Man, he almost ended up in the barrier. Those barriers aren't nice. They're really not nice. Here comes Spicy on the attack. To the inside. Heading towards turn 17. He outbrakes Cam. Oh, I heard a bump. I heard a bump. Somewhere in front. Cam trying to fight back, but doesn't have the speed to battle Spicy. Down the bank straight away. Oh, it's marvelous a spun.
Yeah, that turn 17.
Easy to do. Very easy. Well, the gap's increased to a second now, KD. Smithy's starting to open the taps and pull away.
He's trying to, at least. Well, let's see. Does Ferrari Pro... he should be able to get DRS. He's just about 9 tenths behind him when he went through that detection point.
Had to use a fair bit of battery, though, to do it. He's down to 43%. Smithy's used a fair chunk himself. He's down to 38%. The both drivers using battery. What about Ford? He's used a bit. He's down to 40. Tom, 50. He's the best of the top 4. And ACW's the best of the top 5. He's on 67%. So, you know, I'm surprised. Top 3 fairly even in terms of battery. They're all even in terms of tyres as well. Uh-oh, Ferrari Pro.
Did he lose the RS? Oh,
I
he did.
think so.
He doesn't have the rear wing open. Ford does, though. He'll close the close up a bit.
Yes, he shall. 5 tenths is the gap now. Heading around turn 17. Not the greatest of runs there for Ferrari Pro. Now, he'd be quite thankful that Ford is behind him of all people, because these two are teammates in Tier 1 Pacific Series. So, these two know each other well enough. They know how they race, even though Ford is a reserve. So, shouldn't be a major worry for Ferrari Pro having Ford right behind.
No, not so much. And he should have. He probably knows the situation with Ferrari Pro and Smithy. Like, how he needs to beat him and get closer to him in the championship.
Actually, speaking of Mr. Ford here, he's the driver that ended up winning the Azerbaijan Grand Prix last week, and someone pointed out in the Discord, he led 0 laps, finished 3rd after a huge final lap shunt, and he ended up winning the thing post-race. He did not lead a single lap, and he won.
Very funny.
Racing's a silly game sometimes. It really is.
Yep. Tom has really dropped back, though, from Ford. He's about 1.7 seconds behind.
Doesn't have that DRS help to drag him along. He's probably got his eyes looking back at ACW as well. Lighty gets himself pointed back in the right direction, kind of. Not really. He actually put himself in the wall.
Oh, Ferrari Pro, that's not a very good... Oh, that wasn't a... I was going to say not a great entry, not a great exit either. Here comes Ford.
To the outside, heading towards turn 1. Ferrari Pro can't do a thing about it. Ford moves into 2nd place. Ferrari Pro down to 3rd.
Yeah, I figure that missing the apex and that exit cost him big time.
Down towards the S's now. Turns 4, 5, then the triple left of 6, 7, and 8. This is where Leclerc lost it during qualifying. It's good to see Ferrari Pro nor ACW have done the same. Oh, Davis bringing out yellows though. Goes through turn 3.
Probably lost the back end, I assume.
Again, easy to do through 3.
Yeah. Just a tricky track. Turn 1, 2, and 3. We all know.
You have to be so very careful on the accelerator. It's just not fun.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's not fun either. Oh, thanks to a pen. What I was gonna mention is that even at sprint conditions, because last season we did it in sprint conditions, it is not fun in sprint conditions around Miami. It sucks. For the lack of rubber. Yep. That lack of
I reckon the only
is
person who
bad.
probably disagreed with you is Ferrari Pro himself, who ended up sweeping the weekend in Elite.
He did, that's right.
So
I had to deal with freaking weather conditions in that race. Well, not the race, it was qualifying and the sprint. I think the drive was it was drive for the main race.
nice to see your support, Jackie Perez, for Bags Liddell there. Yeah. Bags will take that as a spur of encouragement, hopefully.
He's still waiting for his fish.
Yes. But yes, that time penalty really isn't going to help. I mean, we're only 6 laps into a 29-lap race. We've got so much more racing to go through, with a pretty high chance of a safety car at some point. So,
Well, if it does happen, it'll definitely spice everything up.
absolutely. Now, Ferrari Pro, I reckon he'd just stick in behind Ford for a while. I don't know if they would actually go into battle. I know Ferrari Pro is close. He might like to go for a move, but I don't know, he might just stay behind for a bit.
Yeah, use a Ford's pace to help him get closer to Smithy if he can.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world.
has to think about the bigger game. Yeah, absolutely, just pointless. Lap 6 of 29. If you battle away, you just lose the leader. That's all you do when you start battling this early in the race. Liddell, pump, close, but no. Oh! He got it pulled up. Just. I was fearing he was going to bonk the barrier and break his wing, but no, he pulled it up. Just.
Yeah, only just.
Now, Pump's tyres, they'd be pretty cooked by this point.
You would think so. I'm surprised they're actually still somewhat going with those tires around this point.
Yeah,
Sounds like hard around this place.
yeah, I'm trying to look at the mini NFT that the Williams has. I can't see any 3-digit numbers, that's why. I can't see any 3-digit numbers with the tyre temps. So, tyre temps are okay for the moment.
Probably just grip.
Yeah, it'll be tyre
Yellow
wear
now.
at this point now.
Yeah, the grip.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. It's
Yellows.
Ford!
Oh dear, he's gone off at turn 11. Oh, hello.
And he's rejoined down in
Gee
5th
whiz.
place.
So he made a mistake, losing the back end at turn 11, and then, yeah, just lost 3 places.
Well, actually, I'm going to have a quick look at Ferrari Pro here, because the gap between the top two has increased to 2.6 now. So, either Ford, he spun right in front of Ferrari Pro lost time to the leader, or Ferrari Pro bonked Ford at turn 11, send him into a spin. Now, looking at that, he didn't, because if he bonked and he got damaged, he would have pit. So,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with the front wing at all.
yeah.
So,
I'm guessing 40 lost it under acceleration out of turn 11, right in front of Ferrari Pro. Ferrari Pro had to back off, and then he lost about a second or so to Smithy as a result.
yeah, it's 2.7 seconds, as you mentioned as well.
Well, it's not the
Very
first time we've
interesting
seen
line
Ford
from
do that.
Yeah. No, it's not. I was going to say, very interesting line from Tom, going very wide at turn 8, using the full width of that outside curve.
We're going to see what line ACW takes as we head up towards turn 11. Looks to the outside. He needs to send it in here. Oh, he does. He has the inside line for 12. It's tight. It's tight. They're side by side through turn 13. Who's going to give? It's ACW.
Yeah, he had to. Oh, he lost the back end. Oh, did he get bonked maybe from Ford?
I think he did lose it a bit by himself. Maybe there was a bonk after the fact, because they got very close to one another.
Yeah. That front wing was near that diffuser. Jesus.
Towards turn 17, the tight left-handed hairpin. No one going for a move just yet. Driver's getting very close to the barrier on the outside. I love doing that. Pump's still running on those tyres, but look at them. They are shredded, like the inside of the tyre. You can see the grooves there in the sunshine. There's plenty of grooves on the tyres. They are well worn.
Yeah, they're not healthy, those things.
Usually when those things pop up, it means tyres no good. So, gotta be careful. Gotta be very, very careful.
Alright, part 2, maybe with these guys? Tom and ACW.
ACW is a bit further back this time around, but he still has battery to play with. And I think Ford's going to get involved here. Alright. Oh, he's close. Ford, he is close. We're going to keep an eye on this. Looks, doesn't fully commit. And he stays behind. Tom goes a bit too wide though. Draws ACW closer.
Yeah, definitely a lock-up I thought there. Hello, Pump.
Rostrom just about made that. Right?
Yeah, a little bit there around the hairpin.
And there's Spicy just behind. We'll be looking for a much cleaner race tonight compared to what happened over at Singapore on Saturday.
Yeah. You
nuts.
probably wouldn't want to talk about it much more.
Oh, let's just put it this way. It was a 100% race at Singapore.
Yeah.
Imagine the worst. That's what happened.
Yeah, and I commented that for the whole 100%.
Yeah, man.
Although it wasn't too bad. At least it wasn't raining. That's the main thing I was happy about.
Thank goodness. As Spicy moves by Pump, those tyres have to be gone by now.
Yeah. If he's getting overtaken by someone on ours, yeah, no, you're... That just gives you an indication the tires are done, so...
Smithy still leads the way. Ferrari Pro in second. The gap is 2.7 seconds, so Ferrari Pro hasn't given up and stayed within essentially touching distance of Smithy. He can see him, that's the main thing. If you can see your rival, you're still in with a shot. You just have to keep seeing them. Be within that touching distance. Try and apply pressure if you can. Keep an eye on this train here. 4 cars, maybe 3 in a minute. Plebs needs to get it in gear and try and catch up, which he has. Oh, they love getting close to that barrier.
So yeah, how much the limit they're pushing to?
Man, if I do that, I bonk the wall and I break a wing. Because I'll just drift out that little bit extra wide on one lap. I just ruin it. Davis, 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Well, judging by his dot on the minimap, he must have done that at the chicane. So maybe he went straight on. Maybe he locked up. Because you got to remember, this is a no assist tier. Maybe he locked up, went straight on. Pumps into the pits. He'll be moving off the soft tyre and onto something that isn't soft. Those tyres... It's set of mediums.
So he's, what, is he trying to go soft medium?
Maybe.
That definitely ain't gonna work. Oh dear, ACW's one wide! 40 nearly got compromised by that. Doesn't be how he caught it.
Yellows. It's Davis.
Davis again.
Cold tyres, man. Oh, sorry, no. Wrong driver.
What was it?
No. Warm tyres. Just lost control. No, I got my drivers mixed up. He hasn't pitted.
Yeah,
Pump has pitted.
Yeah.
Out of turn 16. Heading down the back straightaway. Tom's still at the front of this train. Towing it along. ACW, though, on the attack. He's closing in. Not using any battery, though. This is just Slipstream and DRS. Looks to the inside. Does not commit to a move. He just wants to follow Tom at the moment. Not ready to go on the attack, though. Tom makes a mistake.
Yeah. Still losing time, though.
Closer. Oh, that's brutal.
That's a slap in the wrist, yeah.
Like I said, you have to use that little strip of tarmac on the outside. It really opens up turn 1. But you can go a full car width over. And that's what Tom did. He used too much of that extra runoff and he got pinged for it. So that's a 3-second pen. So he's joined the penalty club with Bags Liddell. Here comes Ford.
And Ford. Oh, hello.
Ooh, inside, outside.
Where are you going to go?
Needs to be committed on the brakes. He is committed. ACW making it tight for the McLaren reserve driver. Around turn 13. Who's going to give it to ACW? That's very, very wise driving from a young driver. Just backing out, he's saying, look, there's no need to battle right now. I can put my ego aside, lose the position and stay in the fight. It's smart driving. Don't need to battle side by side through that section. It only results in bad things. But now what we have is ACW and Plebs next to each other.
Oh, Tom's missed the apex there too at turn 17 and losing the back end.
Oh, hello Plebs. Trying to look around the outside. Tom. Yeah, I think he should be able to hang on. Plebs.
Yeah.
Doesn't go for a move. He stays behind.
Just please you two do not do something stupid.
We've seen it on a few occasions, haven't we?
Probably one too many, I guess.
Out of the S's now, heading up towards the long left-hand sweeper of turn 7, 8.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah. 40 will go for a move, I think. Has to. Oh, I think Tom switched on the battery. He's got a lot of battery. On 75%.
Yeah, he's been saving battery ever since he's been leading this train.
Inside,
and he's lagging too on my end.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, and I reckon Fordy can see it too, so Ford's going to have a fun time. It's the most difficult car to pass.
Yes, when the car...
That's a lot of inside right there from... Gee whiz. He cut all of turn 15. He invented a new corner, he cut so much.
Tom's not fun. Oh, hello, where are you? You're getting past, I think.
This is a real life development from Red Bull. The teleportation mechanic makes it difficult for real life drivers to get by.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, this is... yeah, this is straight up awful. Tom backed out of it wisely, at least.
Marvelous.
Yes.
He has made it oopsie at the chicane. He's got going again. Tom, what's happened?
Is he spun?
He must have had an oopsie.
I think he must have missed the corner, I'm guessing. He didn't spin, it looks like to me.
Well, there were no yellows in the opening sector, so maybe he did go straight on at turn 1.
Yeah.
Maybe he got lag punted from behind and got sent on? I don't know.
I've got no idea. My only educated guess is they just went off the racetrack for a little bit. I wasn't on him, I was on Marvin when you were mentioning him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought that battle between Ford and Tom had resolved and then we get something. Oh, and a spin from Ford again! He spins just before the chicane! Oh, dearie me! Lost control through turn 13, spun the car before 14. He now drops down to P9.
Plebs is attacking, by the way.
Yeah, hello. Plebs moves by ACW. That's for P3. ACW not quite close enough to get back at him at turn 17. Plebs is in, is he? He is.
He's going in. Yeah, he's got a memes. That's fair enough. I think he can carry the memes to the end from this point.
Well, we're at the halfway mark, so...
Yeah.
And Ross Graham's just come in. 5-second penalty as well for Ross. Ouch.
I hate that pit lane as well. It's so stupid.
It is.
That
Why is there a pit speed limit line before a chicane?
I don't know.
Like, the whole purpose of a chicane is to slow cars down. So wouldn't it be more sensible to have the chicane before the pit speed limit line?
You would think so, but I don't know. I don't make up the track, so.
Pump closing in on Roscoe Arm on cold, hard tyres. Roscoe's going to be a sitting duck as he makes his way through the long left sweeper onto the back straight. Here we go. Pump draws alongside. Round turn 9. The RS Open still using battery. Draws alongside the Alfa Romeo, gets in front. The Roscoe Arm can't outbrake him, not on those tyres, not yet. 40 having a look. But again, through this tight, twisty section, you can't do anything. You have to stay behind.
Tom's coming in.
Another driver in for fresh boots. Going to be a set of mediums put on the car. Now, will he come out in front of Plevs? Plevs is making his way around the final corner.
Tom's coming down the pit lane exit. Well, it's going to be close. I reckon Plebs might stay ahead.
He shall.
Just though. Interesting. Well, it'll be a bit more than that. Tom's still got cold tires. I'm sure he's going to be gentle with it.
Yep. So you lose time here through the first sector. What's that gap? 9 tenths. 9.5 tenths. A second. 1.1 seconds. 1.2 seconds.
That's definitely a warning as well. Tom.
1.4 seconds. 1.5 seconds. So it's going from 8 tenths to 1.6 seconds. That's what cold tyres do, folks. That's what they do. Yep. They lose you so much time.
Yep. About nearly a second in one sector alone.
Yep.
Just ridiculous. But that's how it works.
40, counter-attacking, looking around the outside at turn 11. Dives it in, pulls it up, moves into 9th place. Needs to close in by 6.6 seconds to try and attack Tom for P8 on track. Now, Spicy closing in on Bags, Liddell. These two yet to stop. On the same strategy as ACW pits in. Now, the drivers we have to keep an eye out for, Plebs and Tom. Has the overcut worked?
Let's see. Tires are bolted on the car. Cam's in the pits as well. Plebs down the main straight.
Heading up towards pit lane exit. This will be tight. I think Plebs will get in front though.
And same with Tom, I think too. Or does he draw alongside? No, ACW goes in front.
Yeah, but careful, Tom's got fresh, warm tyres. ACW has fresh, cold tyres, so ACW's going to lose time through this bit in particular. Can Tom find a way through? Not quite.
Well, not there at least. ACW still hangs on. In fair credit, that's pretty good. But he also gets Tom with DRS.
The speed in the Red Bull! Oh, that thing is fast in a straight line.
My goodness. That's emulated. That's replicating real life if I've ever seen. I was
going to say, did we have it on Equal Performance?
Surely we did. That Red Bull was a freaking bullet train.
Didn't even use battery. That was just DRS, mate. Oh.
Yeah.
All of the speed.
Oh my goodness. And he's over 320. He goes 325 Ks down the back straight with no DRS aided to help. That's insanity.
Absolutely.
That is pure insanity.
Ferrari Pro comes out next to Spicy. That was out of turn 3. They got very, very close to one another. Spicy keeps third on track. Ferrari Pro just needs to stay cool. He needs to get those tyres nice and warm.
And that's not going to help Ferrari Pro at all. He's not got one but 2 cars that he has to overtake.
And guess what? One of them's an Aston.
Yep. Correct.
Again, Bags coming in clutch. Up towards turn 11. Can't do it yet. Needs to get a bit closer. Need his tyres to be a bit warmer. Then he can think about a move.
He's going to have to use all that battery if he can. Hopefully he has a straight line speed for his sake. To do it, but yeah, we'll see.
He's not too spicy. He's got a heavy slipstream as well. Not close enough.
Yeah,
He doesn't dive bomb it either, he just stays behind.
Oh my goodness, that Red Bull is fast. Yep. It's on the inside and there he goes. Wow.
Clean as you like. Tom moves through into 5th position. Ferrari Pro gets by Spicy into turn 1. ACW sets a new fastest lap with a 29.6. Showing his intentions out there.
Tom locks the rears! He locked the rears there into turn 1. He goes off the track and there goes Plebs and ACW.
Maybe that's what he did before.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Alright, so...
Oh, ACW! Gee whiz! He used the curb. They're at 7. My goodness. Great catch.
Here comes Ferrari Pro. No resistance from Bags Liddell. He can't really resist it. No DRS. Can't help him out. ACW under pressure from Tom, who looks to the outside, heading towards turn 11. From around the corner. And stays in front critically at turn 12.
Yeah. So he knows the straight line speed of that Red Bull. He had to break deep. Otherwise, yeah, he was going to get overtaken.
Yep. Absolutely. Alright, Plebs is moving now. He wants to break the slipstream. He doesn't want ACW getting close. Unfortunately, DRS says otherwise. He closes in down the back straight. Not by enough, though, to attack. But just to get a little bit closer to Plebs, trying to apply a little bit more pressure to the back end of Plebs' car. Meanwhile, Smithy's out there driving about. Uh-oh, yeah. Davis has crashed out. That's at turn 8. And that's a safety car. You're joking. With 10 to go, we have a safety car. Our first of the night. And into the pits. Come, everybody. At least at the tail of the field.
Where's the car, though? Oh, it's head first onto the right-hand side. At the edge of turn 8. Wow.
Understeered maybe into the Pirelli barrier.
Or maybe the back end just, stepped out or something. That has happened before.
What's Cam up to? Is there going to be torrential rain in like 30 seconds? Because he's on wet.
Is he really on the... I just looked at the graphic now.
He's on the full wet tyre.
Cam, can I mention something?
When it rains, it pours here in Miami, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, it rains in Miami, but Cam, I'm looking at the weather, and it doesn't look like any rain's coming.
That's right. There's still cloud cover, but there's still blue. So
yeah, it may be humid in Miami. Maybe.
Now, the sheer humidity means they have to run wet, man. Help move all of the moisture on the racetrack just because of the humidity. See, it's a smart play. Big brain.
Maybe he decides to stay out. He doesn't want to gamble, I guess. That's fair. Bags has to go in, obviously.
Yeah.
Spy season, yeah, same story. Obviously has to come in.
Plebs, ACW, and Tom. I wonder if Smithy and Ferrari Pro might be worse off because of this.
Yeah. Soft tyres for Bags and Spicy. Ooh.
So everyone's bolting on fresh tyres. We've got mediums for ACW on mediums. We've got Bags and Spicy on softs. They're P3 and 4 now.
And Tom's on softs as well behind ACW.
Softs. Interesting.
So they're all taking different... all taking different approach.
And surprisingly, Cam comes back in to get rid of his wets and put on his softs.
Ah, damn. I wanted him to go to intermediates just for the lulz.
Use all of the compounds.
Exactly. You know, we're in Florida, like you said. If it does, you might as well pretend that it rains here in Miami.
That's it. Alright. We'll run through the order. Who's on what? Well, we've got Smithy at the front, Ferrari Pro in second. The top two in the Drivers' Championship. They're both on worn mediums. They're not terribly worn. They're only 3 laps worn. But they are worn, nonetheless. We have Bags Liddell in P3 on softs, fresh softs. We got Spicy in P4 on fresh softs. We got Plebs in P5 on fresh mediums. We got ACW in P6 on fresh mediums. We got Tom in P7 on fresh softs. We got Ford on fresh mediums in P8. Same with Pump in P9. Roscoe in P10. Marvelance in P11 is doing the same too. Then we have Ben Baha Man Cam. He's on fresh softs, and Whitey's doing the same at the back in 13. So what we... Oh, Roscoe's in. He's saying, screw it, I want softs. And I don't think he'll lose position either.
No, he won't. Yeah, Marvelin's a little too far away. Yeah, he'll come out in front of him.
The pit lane exit, it kind of glitched and he stayed there, and then boop, he disappeared.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, pit lane exit is turn. The exit turn 2. I said turn 3.
It enters turn 3, yeah.
Yeah, exit 2 goes to 3.
Yeah. Let's see what some of the other details we have. Everyone's made at least one stop. In terms of position changes, who's made up the most? We have Bags Liddell up 4, Spicy up 10, got Plebs up 1, Pump up 1, Marvelin up 2, Marvelin up 2. And then we have 3 drivers, Tom, Ford and Cam. They're all down 4 places. So the biggest winner out of all of this is Spicy, who started from plumb last. It's looking pretty good, if it weren't for that penalty, of course.
Yeah, they're going to have to go full aggressive, though, if they want to get the right switch.
That's it. I think he would be aiming for a podium, if possible. But the penalty is going to hold him back. Funnily enough, the 3 drivers who are on softs, the top 3 that are on softs, they've all got penalties. If they didn't, they'll make this race so much more interesting. Unfortunately, they all have 3 seconds apiece. We'll do one more lap behind the safety car, then we can bugger off back into the pits and we can go back on the green flag racing. Oh, this hasn't been a too bad race so far, KD.
It's been alright. It's been a goodish Miami Grand Prix. Hopefully we'll get that in real life, Miami Grand Prix.
Cross our bloody fingers.
Well, it would be...
Maybe. Who knows with Miami in real life.
Just keep Danica Patrick away from booth, please.
Hinchcliffe has been interesting to listen to.
Yeah, no, he is at Miami this weekend. He's doing commentary with Alex Jakes in F1 TV, which is very nice. I like Hinchcliffe.
Well, you know, he's got that race savviness that makes him a good commentator.
Absolutely.
Having that racing experience provides a unique view on what's going on the racetrack. But he's savvy enough to string together well-constructed sentences and not scramble up his words and whatnot. He is a very good commentator to have alongside you.
Yeah. I mean, it also helps with him now taking experience doing IndyCar.
Yeah, that's right. Doing that with Lee Divvy and Townsend Bill. Rightio. Safety car is going to go back into its home in the pit lane. Smithy controls the field. Now, I can't help but wonder where he's going to take off. Before the final corner? Oh, no. Essentially the final corner before turn 17. Now he's taken off through turn 18. It's a solid restart from Smithy as he heads onto the main straight away. It's lap 24 of 29. We've got 6 laps to go into turn 1. The gap still sits at about 0.6 of a second. So Ferrari Pro responding well on the restart. He wasn't terrific, but he's keeping touch. That's the main thing. He's going to have company though. Bags Liddell is on his gearbox and he's on soft compound tyres. So we know he's going to be at least a little bit aggressive.
Gotta utilize all that grip if you can. Ford and Tom. Tom's lost to Ford. That's turn 8.
So Ford's given it some on those medium compound tyres. He's not mucking around. Well, it's obvious that Tom is running low wings because of the sheer straight line speed that he's got. So Fordy is able to carry more corner speed even on the less grippy tyre. And as a result, there you go. Ford hangs on to 7th.
Yep.
Just got to be mindful of him on the long straights where the Red Bull is substantially quicker. Around turn 16 onto the back straight away. What can Tom do? He's got a bit of battery to play with. 300 kilometers an hour, 310, 320, 325, 330, 335. Down towards turn 17, not close enough to go for a move. Unfortunately, Cam getting by. Oh no, he doesn't!
Oh, Baja Cam!
He overshot that corner by a lot, KD.
Yeah, he quite did.
He overshot that by a solid 50 meters. And somehow didn't crash into anybody, so credit to him. And the triple left of turns 6, 7 and 8. Onto this flat out section heading towards turn 9. 6.5 tenths is the gap between the top two. Ferrari Pro is not giving up on this. He is going for it. Like I said before, he had that sweep at Miami last season. He knows how to win here. But Smithy, he's been the all-conquering driver in the Elite Series. He's been a tough guy to beat. This is Ferrari Pro's opportunity to give him one back, even though I suppose at the end of the day it'll be all for nothing. So long as Smithy finishes this race, he will be crowned our Drivers' Champion. He just needs to finish. Now Smithy's starting to open up the taps a little bit. The gap's increased to 1.1 seconds. Tom closing in down towards turn 17. Again, not quite close enough to go after Ford. DRS is now enabled. We have 4 laps to go here at Miami Gardens. Down towards turn 1 goes this battle back for what, P4 on track. Spicy, I'm surprised, doesn't look anywhere near as threatening as what Bags Liddell does right now.
He just doesn't really have the pace,
Yeah.
I guess, compared to Bags. Oh, but he doesn't have the... Oh, goodness me. I was not saying no car control.
Or ACW was wide as well at turn 7. Went beyond the curbs there, that might have been a warning. ACW close, so is Ford. Yeah, that's open. Ford closing in. The speed the McLaren has. Down the inside, it's tight. Down towards turn 11, the left-hander. Side by side, heading towards turn 12. The Ferrari has the nose in front. Around turn 13, and Ford gives in. Through the chicane. A little bit of Morse code between the McLaren and the Ferrari there. Little bump, 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 bump through there. DRS open again. What's Spicy gonna do? He has some pretty decent straight line speed in that Merc. Not quite close enough to battle players. Players with a little oopsie out of turn 17. Loses a 10th to Liddell. Liddell needs to build up a gap of 3 seconds to Plevs. try and keep that P3. It's not going to be an easy task. Not at all. Out of turn 3, heading up towards the S's now. 40 close, not close enough to go for a move. Through the S's. Round turn 5, into turn 6. Round turn 7. Again, wide there from Ford. He gets a mega exit though. Here we go. Not closing in by enough, he looks. Can't send it down the inside. ACW closes in on Spicy as we head around turn 12. Then turn 13 as Whitey gets a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, Ferrari Pro, he's 6/10 behind Smithy. He is not giving up on this. Giving it everything to try and catch up to the Aston Martin driver. Smithy doesn't have a great deal of battery. He's not saving. Ferrari Pro, he is switched on right now. Play of Spicy into turn 17. Battling away. With this battling, they're going to lose time to Bags. Gap sits at 9/10 of a second. Down towards turn 1. He looks to the inside, Spicy. Oh, he runs wide.
The corner.
ACW has to avoid.
ACW. Oh, goodness me. Ford's coming. Oh, they spin.
3-car spin out at turn 3. We have ACW, Ford and Tom involved. All 3 cars coming together after Spicy ran wide, rejoined in front of them. Caused the concertina effect, and they all tripped over each other. A bump from ACW sends Cam around. That's bound to be a penalty.
Yep. Oh, that's tragic, but wow. Yeah, Ford had a run, and it's just the 2 made contact, and Cam's left the session in frustration. And here comes Tom on ACW with the most ridiculous trailline speed in the world. To the outside he goes. ACW tries to... Oh, he runs him off a bit, I think. Or tries to run him deep.
Top 2, as Tom gets another 3-second time penalty, are now separated by 0.3 of a second. Ferrari Pro's really giving it some. Smithy is low on battery. Ferrari Pro is damn well out of it. We head on to the main straightaway. It's the final lap, lap 29 of 29 here at the Miami International Autodrome. Smithy's main goal here is to finish. That's all he needs to do. Doesn't need to battle Ferrari Pro for the win, for the context of the championship. But for the sake of the race, he needs to try and battle and hang on as Tom's retired in the pit lane. As we head out of turn 8, up towards 9, 10, and more critically 11, Ferrari Pro. He's only got so few attempts left as Ford gets by pump. DRS wide open, buried in the slipstream, closing the gap. It's not enough, he goes deep, but it's not enough. Plez overtakes Bags Liddell. That is for P3 on track. Back up to the top 2. It's 3:10 still as they go through the chicane for the final time up towards the critical left-hander of turn 16. The gap increases to 6/10. It wasn't a great run from Ferrari Pro. He needed to nail that section. Ultimately, though, he didn't as Ford spins out at the chicane and drops down to P8. Ferrari Pro gave it everything, but unfortunately, it's just not enough. Smithy here is going to win the Miami Grand Prix and become the Season A Pacific Elite Series Drivers Champion. Ferrari Pro home in second, half a second off the race win, and Plevs complete the podium places in third. Bags Liddell finishing in P4 means that the championship fight for the constructors goes on to the final round at Imola. Driver of the day given to Spicy Salami. Got as high as the top 5. kept mostly out of trouble. Now time for the podium celebrations, and we've seen this guy walk down the winner's corridor all too often this season. He's won here in Miami, and he's become our Elite Series Drivers Champion. P2, Ferrari Pro, he gave it his all, but ultimately just fell short. Players getting by Bags Liddell takes third place. The unofficial results then of the Miami Grand Prix. Smithy is your race winner and drivers champion, with Ferrari Pro home in second place, half a second behind, and players finishing on the podium in third. Bags Liddell in fourth place, followed by Roscoe Arm in fifth, Pump in P6, Spicy in seventh after starting from last, so fair play driver of the day. ACW P8, what could have been for ACW if it weren't for what happened. With 2 laps to go at turn 3, the drama between ACW, Ford and Tom, as well as Spicy, all happening at turn 2. So you get Ford P9, followed by Marvel at P10, and we have Whitey, Cam, Tom, Davis, our only DNF of the race, crashing out at turn 8, which brought out the race-changing safety car. We'll invite Ferrari Pro and players so we can have a chit chat about what happened there. Oh, that was a conclusion.
Yeah, a little bit of a conclusion.
Plenty of drama.
Yep, that's what safety car tends to happen, I guess.
Yeah, safety cars just breed accidents, that's all they do.
Nah.
Now, let's bring those 2 drivers in. Let's see here. Where are you? There's Ferrari Pro. Players, are you online out of curiosity? If you want to talk, you can. If not, that's fine. I'm going to have to scroll down into offline. P's around here. K, K, L, R. I went past. There we go. Down there. Seems that this is going to be the 3rd time this season we've had these 2 on the podium. Oh, that was something. Quick shout out before... Oh well, there's Ferrari Pro. One of them's joined us. Congrats, Smithy. Well done. You did it, mate. Terrific season put together. Nice way to get it as well with a race win at Miami. So, no, fantastic performance. A typical you performance. You know, getting out in front, driving pretty tidily. You had a little Ferrari Pro on the back of you, weren't you? Ferrari Pro, giving him a bit of a hard time. Yeah. But no, congrats, Smithy. Well done on becoming our drivers' champion. But Mr. Ferrari Pro, thank you for joining us here. P2, mate, and you gave your all right at the end there. I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm quite disappointed because I did make a stupid mistake with 40 earlier in the race. I think I just out-judged my braking. I just went into the back of him and he half-spun. So, I mean, I tried to avoid that. Pretty annoyed about my actions.
Okay. So you did hit him at turn 11 then?
Yeah. I don't know. I forgot how hard it was, but I think he broke a bit early and I broke a bit later.
Well,
so.
I ruled out that you hit the back of him because I did see that happen and I noticed the gap increase, so I thought either he spun out in front of you and you collectively lost time, or you hit the back of him and spun him round. And considering he didn't pit, I thought it was him spinning out and you just getting involved in it. But no, you actually hit him at turn 11.
I said sorry to him in the Discord, but if you're listening, 40, sorry, man. Really sorry about that.
40 had plenty of problems over the course of that race, and I think he knows he's just a reserve, so he's there for funsies. So, but you gave it your all today, especially at the end. As I said, that was very impressive. Qualifying, front row. Were you happy with the lap?
Oh, not really actually, because I've been doing some pretty other good laps around Miami earlier in the week, doing some practice and that. So I thought I could have had a bit more time in it, but I guess it is what it is, you know. I think my desire on last laps of qualifying, all I think about is pole. I don't actually think about the laps, so I think it's something I really got to change for next year's game.
Fair enough. It's always good to highlight an area of weakness and try and improve upon it.
Yeah.
Regardless of anything. So, no, best of luck in regards to that. But decent start to the race. I think you maintained second after the start, and then you had 40 come at you a little later in the race. But yeah, it seemed pretty tidy at the beginning.
Yeah, it was pretty. Apart from mine and 40's incident, it was a fairly tidy race, I'd say, honestly. But at the beginning, I was quite happy with it because, you know, I was like, I'm afraid being on the inside line, I'll lose some places, and then, you know, I'll, in the turn one, then there's always a potential for an accident to happen. So I was quite worried about that. It was sort of weight off the shoulders when we went through there, and there was no harm done.
Fair enough. Hang on, I just want to quickly check. That's a bit better. Turn down the music a little bit. Music is very loud. But initially starting on the hard compound tyre wasn't too much of an issue.
Yeah, it felt really good. I don't mind the hard tyres around here. It wasn't too bad actually. You know, even extending them to, I think I got them on 60% or something. They were still really competitive. I was still getting green sectors and that. So.
All right. Fair play.
They were fairly nice. Good tyre.
But,
fair enough.
Towards the point you pitted, what was the gap between you and Smithy? About
good question.
4 seconds, somewhere in between there.
It was like 3.5 seconds, I remember.
Was your game plan just to follow him in, or was it just a coincidence you were pitting on the same lap as he did?
It was just a coincidence because I saw others behind me and I didn't want to have the risk of them getting the undercut. I mean, I know it was going to be a pretty big undercut, but at the same time, fresher tyres around here were probably the go-to against, even if I was quick and the warning hard. So I think it was just a coincidence, really.
Came out with Spicy and Bags in front of you.
Yeah. Oh my god, man! What was it like? I think I was too wide with Spicy at one stage going out. Got stuck in between them and I was like, oh shit, I thought there was an incident going to happen. My heart was raising the whole time going through it. Or was just...
Yeah, I bet.
I didn't want to destroy my racer.
But eventually you got by and the gap obviously increased between you and Smithy, and 3 laps later, safety car. And you and Smithy elected not to pit. Do you feel that still was the right call?
For me, I reckon it was, because I think going even towards the end of the race, it might not have shown what happened, getting P2, but I feel like I had more pace on Smithy in a way, so, and a lot on Bags and Spicy, and the other guys behind. So I think it was the right choice for me, and not risk giving away my track position. So I think that was the right choice for me.
Would you have pitted then, knowing that everyone behind you was going to pit? Because that's what happened in the end.
Yeah, I probably would have, but
foresight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I would have done that. Yeah, would have pitted.
But that final stint, though, it looked like you were giving it your everything to try and get Smithy.
No, I was fair play to the guy, man. He's quick. He's quick, that guy. You know, like, I was frustrated at the start of the season, and even like towards the end of the night, like, oh, he's just too quick and all that. But you know, he's a bloody good driver. And, like, yeah, he gave it his all tonight also. But I think he was running a lot lower wings to me, and I was running higher. But yeah, we were fairly equal on different parts of the racetrack. So yeah.
And just missed out by half a second at the end. So
Yeah.
gave it your all. You only missed out by a little bit. So infinitely better than whatever happened last week. So
Yeah.
but KD, do you have anything to ask Ferrari, bro?
No further no further comments other than good efforts though. Well, I mean, obviously I know the championship probably would have gone a little bit better for you in some sense, but still, GG on your efforts, of course.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
maybe better luck next time if you do compete again for Elite Series.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you.
One final question for you, Ferrari Pro. Next week we're heading over to Imola, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. A sprint round, no less, as a final round. What are your thoughts going into next week?
Oh, I like Imola. It's a cool track, nice and flowing. And ACW got the virtual home advantage going for the constructors, so
That's it.
yeah, quite looking forward to it. It's a nice way to end off the season, I reckon.
Alright, best of luck then for next week, but for now, congratulations on the P2 finish. Well done.
Thanks, Lane and KD, and congrats to Plebs and P3 and Smithy for the championship.
Speaking of which, Mr. Race Spec, hello.
G'day boys, how we doing?
Not too bad,
Too
Pleb.
bad.
Not too bad
That's
at
the
all.
way.
I imagine you're pretty pleased with third here at Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good race from oh yeah, really fun race to be honest. So I really like Miami. I think a lot of the drivers do. It's a fun track and it's also really good for racing. So yeah, it's always a good one.
Qualifying,
Mhm.
how did that go for you?
Yeah, not too bad. I did a pretty decent banker on a second go on it on my first run. I basically missed turn one on my first run, so I just backed out straight away and went on the next lap. So I took a bit of extra fuel because, yeah, you can usually make a mistake like that your first go.
Yeah.
And then second run I did exactly the same thing, so it was annoying, and I didn't have the fuel, so I just boxed. And then third run I put a lap, good, like semi decent lap together. I think I was doing 26 8s and 9s in practice, so I think I ended up with a 27-1, so not too far off. But yeah, the guys ahead were doing 8s and higher anyway, or lower, sorry. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have moved up. So yeah, not too bad. I think it was 6th, something like that. So yeah, and then race was fun. Just wanted to stay in the battle for P3. I was at the back of the train most of the race, and then I think something happened to Bailey, and he dropped into the train we were in. Yeah, and battled, and I managed to get ahead of a couple of guys before I boxed. I boxed early, trying to get the undercut anyway, which I didn't really need, but just tried to pull a gap, and the safety car came out. I was really surprised Ferrari Pro didn't box, especially if Smithy didn't, but yeah, you probably would have won if you did that. But yeah, I was really surprised the first two guys didn't box. But yeah, and then just had a pretty good battle with Seb and Bags towards the end. They had pens, so I don't think they battled too hard, and managed to finish P3 and P3 on track. So
Yeah, that's
yep, just kept it clean. I had 2 warnings pretty early. I had like nearly binned it in the Mickey Mouse chicane. I was like sideways over the right hand one, and I think I cut it and got a warning, and then I got a warning like within the next 2 laps on the long left-hander. I didn't even think I like went over the line and was running wider most other laps anyway. So yeah, the warnings there just seem silly. I don't know, I don't know how you even get a warning. Like, it seems very inconsistent, but yeah, so I had to be pretty careful from then on, and yeah, that was basically it, mate.
Well, the care paid off. ended up getting your podium finish, which isn't too bad at all. Towards the
Yeah,
back
it's
half
been
of
a
the
while.
championship. Yeah, it's been a little while. When was your last podium?
I don't know, I was trying to look at the standings, but let me see.
In the lead, I know you won last night.
And claimed the championship too.
Yeah, you can.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't bottle anything for
Congrats, boss. You won
Thank you.
champion.
Mr. Race Spec won championship.
Can I have race? No, I'm kidding. Players win third, second.
I'm just trying to get it.
Australia second.
Oh yeah, that was
It
it.
has been a while. It's been 5 rounds. It's been a little while.
Oh yeah, so it's 5 podiums this season. It's not too bad. It's probably low for the last few seasons, but anyway, it's been more competitive this year this season with Smithy and
Some really quick drivers in here, so
yeah.
snagging podiums, you know, I'd take that as an achievement against competition like that. So
Yeah, exactly. Happy with that. So yeah, good to have Tom join for the last couple of races as well, and yeah, hopefully he races full time next season. That'd be good. Always good to have more drivers of that caliber on the grid.
more than merrier.
Yeah, let's hope Crossplay is a bit better, I think, is the fingers crossed thing for me.
Okay.
But yeah.
KD, anything to ask Mr. Race Spec?
Same thing. No further comment, but congratulations on your podium. Well, Mr. Race Spec.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for doing comms to bloody 3 AM or whatever it is for like... Oh, how long was that race last night?
2.5 hours. No, 2 hours,
an hour.
25 minutes. That's how long
2
it
hours
was.
20 minutes, yeah, 2 hours 20
No,
minutes.
an hour 52 minutes, wasn't it? That's what I thought. 102 minutes.
Oh, for the race, yeah.
Yeah.
For the whole
thing,
it was 2
whole
hours,
thing.
25 minutes.
Was it? Oh, okay.
I mean, well, the only difference is I had lane for company, so that's always a nice thing.
Oh, Lane was in there? Okay.
No,
No,
in
I'm
here.
talking about for tonight's race.
Oh, sorry.
The other night he was all by
Okay.
his lonesome for 2 hours and 25 minutes.
That's
doing
what I
a lap
mean.
in
That's why
Singapore.
that's why I
Fortunately, it
said
wasn't
thank you.
too bad.
No problem, no problem.
Had plenty of time, so
Yeah, it was.
alright. That's
Yeah.
one final question for you, players. Next week we're over at Imola for the final round of the championship. What are your thoughts heading into the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix?
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's a pretty good track. I struggle with one part. I think everyone does to a certain extent. Aqua Minerale.
It's a tough
It's quite it's just really hard to carry the speed through there, and then it punishes you a lot if you get it wrong. So it's like, yeah, if you stuff it up, you're either losing, a good chunk of time, or you're probably spinning. So yeah, it's one of those high risk, high reward sections. But the rest of the track, I actually love first sector. First sector is probably one of the best first sectors for me. Yeah, I think it's good. It should be good for racing. I think the straight's long enough for overtakes and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, well done to I haven't said it yet. Yeah, but well done to Smithy and on the championship and the win tonight. Like, yeah, really happy he's joined the season and shown his quality, and hopefully he'll be back again. Would like to see him on Tuesdays, to be honest, with in T1. That'd be really awesome. So see how that goes. But yeah, well done, and I guess commiserations to Ferrari Pro for not making the 3-peat, but 2 in a row is still like a really good achievement, and he pushed Smithy basically most of the way this season. So yeah, 2 really good drivers, and yeah, another good season. Oh, we've got one more race left, but yeah. Is the constructors wrapped up? Let's have a look. It's not. Okay.
Shouldn't be. With Smithy winning and Bags coming home in 4th, they should have outscored Ferrari in this round. So
okay.
The championship will go on to the final round at Imola. So yeah, we'll still have that to keep an eye out for heading into that round.
Our Alpine P3
should be, yeah.
Even though where's Marco been? Where is he? He's not here.
Off doing stuff over in Europe.
I guess so.
Doesn't have time for us. Anyway, best of luck for next week, players. But for now, congratulations on your return to the podium.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, guys. Thanks, KD, too.
Of course.
I think, KD, wrap up another stream, and not a bad one here at Miami. Seen worse, so not bad at all.
No, it was a good race. We had some drama here and there. Of course, the safety car spiced it all up, and yeah, it gave us what we got. So yeah, it wasn't too bad overall.
I think, folks, with everything said and done, it's now time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham, my co-commentator as always, it's KD1997. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 15, the final round of the championship at Autodromo Enzo Idino Ferrari, better known as Imola, for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Until then, it's goodbye.